Hello and welcome to Follow Everton. I am Ryan, the channel host. I hope you're all well. I just want to talk about Everton. It's just been on my mind because I'm looking at the results today, and dearie me, Burnley have just beaten Spurs, which is just absolutely typical. Spurs going to Man City and blowing that title race wide open. Much to the annoyance of all of us Evertonians who think it couldn't get much worse than Everton being in a relegation battle, but potentially the Red Shite winning the league, still in the Champions League and the League Cup, obviously on the weekend, and the FA. Sickening, really. But Spurs beating City away from home, and then to do that to the title race annoys me. I know we've got bigger fish to fry, but then obviously to go to Burnley today and crumble, really. I mean, it was a really, really poor performance from Tottenham, and Burnley nicking the goal. I think it was Rodriguez who scored. I didn't catch the actual goal, but really, it's leaving us in a bit of a mess. I'm looking at the league table now. I want to know what your thoughts are on this. Where are we picking up the points? When are we going to get the results? Because we've got Man City. Oh, Liverpool are winning 6-0. I mean, Leeds could easily get sucked into it. But I'm looking at us. We're on 22 points. Newcastle also on 22 points. And there's only 2 points between Everton and Burnley in 18th place on 20 points. It's a it's really scary at the moment. I don't see where we're going to pick up points. I can't see us getting anything away from home. The reason is I just think defensively, we're obviously not the worst team out of them all defensively. I mean, our goal difference isn't as bad as like Norwich, but we've got Michael Keane and Mason Holgate in defence, and John Joe Kenny, and the three of them weren't good enough for us 5 years ago. They're not good enough for us now, and a couple of them are playing out of necessity, but scares me to death. We don't score enough goals either. We don't score enough goals, and we can't keep it out. So I'm looking at these fixtures and I'm thinking, where are the points coming from? We've got Spurs away, City at home. It's really scary. Watford thankfully did lose today. They've lost 4-1 at home to Crystal Palace. And obviously Leeds losing 6-0. I mean, that's an awkward one, isn't it? Because it's like, you want Liverpool to not win, and then you want Leeds to not win. It's an absolute sickener. Toothy's saying if we could just defend, then we could nick points like Burnley do. That's the thing, though. If you look at how Burnley set up, it is very much a low block, and they wait for the opposition to make mistakes, and they play for set pieces and corners and free kicks. And I just don't think Frank Lampard will set Everton up in that kind of style of football to go and play a low block. It was almost like what Ancelotti was doing last season. Very much a low block. I think after the first 7 games when James got injured, he reverted to that, sort of low block style of football, and we got some results. I think we were good at set pieces, and we were good on the counter attack. I mean, we didn't have a lot of pace, but we were good enough to get results. And I think we were 6 points off 7th, which would have got us Europe, I think. So, obviously the injuries to Doucouré and James towards the end of last season is what cost us. And I think we would have finished in the top 7, I think, had those two not been injured for the amount of time they were. But I don't see Frank Lampard going back to that sort of low block counter-attacking style. I do think we've got the players better suited. If you look at Michael Keane, he's probably better in a low block. And then you've got Demarai Gray, who's quick, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, Doucouré. They could do it, but it's just not going to happen now. I mean, Rafa Benitez was neither here nor there. He had no style of play. It was neither a low block or a press. I just don't think the fans would tolerate anything other than a high press, high aggression style of football now. So away from home, I think we're going to continue to get found out, and it's that nervousness. And where is the fight? Because I'm looking at these other teams like Burnley, and to some extent the others. I know Watford picked up a win the other day, I think at Aston Villa. Correct me if I'm wrong, but They all have shown a lot more fight than Everton. Where is the fight? And why do Everton need the fans behind them at Goodison to get any sort of anything out of the players? They should be self-motivated, and it's a mutual thing. I get that the fans feed off the players and the players feed off the crowd, but it feels like there's a reliance on us to generate something because the players are far too nervous. Frank Lampard said he said in his post-match against Southampton that effectively the players aren't following his instructions. And that really worries me because I think Rafa Benitez said the same thing. He was disappointed the players aren't learning, were his exact words. So I'm concerned. I'm concerned. But look, I'm more optimistic now with Lampard in charge than I was before. I really am. But I can't get away from the fact that the table, if you're looking at it as a glass half empty, it isn't good. 2 points off the relegation zone, and we've played 23 games, and we're not scoring, and we're conceding too many. On the glass half full side, which some of you may be sitting on, and I might easily be sitting on in a week's time, we are only actually 5 points behind Leicester, and Villa. We're 5 points behind Villa and 5 points behind Leicester, and we have a game on hand on Villa. And we are also only 7 points behind Palace with 3 games in hand. So if we won our 3 games in hand, we'd actually be 11th in the league. So it just depends what way you look at it. But I look at the fixtures and it's nerve-wracking. I mean, I want to know what your thoughts are. How are you feeling at the moment about this relegation battle? I mean, it's something that I think we've sidestepped quite a lot, and certainly on the channel, not tried to talk about it and make a big thing about it. But obviously with the weekend's results, again, the 3 teams in and around us, Newcastle picking up a result. I think they did anyway. The teams around us picking up a result and us just looking, we've had 2 wins, Arsenal and the one the other day at home to Leeds, who look awful. Now, I think Leeds could get really sucked into this mess, and I think Brentford also could be one of the 2. I think that Norwich and Watford will ultimately go down. I think Burnley and Newcastle are going to get out of it. So it's just, can Everton do better than Leeds or Brentford? I don't think Villa and Leicester are going to get dragged into it, although they are struggling at the moment. But look, you can look at it 2 ways. You can be misery guts and really feel horrible at the moment, like myself, and think, oh God. But, Brentford and Leeds are struggling. We're only 7 points away from 11th, 5 off Leicester and 12th. How do you feel? Let me know in the comments. I want to know how you're feeling tonight, Blues. I've got Jace. Hi, Jace. Good evening. Thanks for watching. And if you're new to the channel, guys, make sure you subscribe. I think we had over 1,000 views on our last video. So a lot of you haven't subscribed, but please, if you're watching, subscribe. It means a lot as we close in on, I think, 900 subs. So that's really good. Jace is saying, hi, Ryan. I really fear where we are heading. I can see us being in the bottom 3 after we play Man City and Spurs, and Burnley don't really surprise me. The thing with Burnley is they revert to type. So the low block and they're solid defensively. They're not conceding a lot of goals, and I think their goal difference speaks volumes. I think if Burnley had a half-decent striker up there who could play, as a sole striker, maybe on the counter-attack or in the pair, and also drop in and help out, then I think, they wouldn't be anywhere near it. Obviously they hadn't played as many games as the other teams, so they were right down the bottom. But no, I'm not surprised. And in a way, I'm not surprised by Newcastle because I think the owners and the fans have galvanized them a little bit. Bringing the players in gives a little bit of added motivation. So I'm not surprised by Burnley. I'm not surprised by Newcastle. I think Leeds are missing a couple of big players in Calvin Phillips and Patrick Bamford. So it's just where you go with it, really. You're saying about being in the bottom 3 when we play City and Spurs. I mean, I think we're doing a preview for Spurs. Sorry about this. Bit of weird feedback. I think we're doing a preview for City, I should say, tomorrow or Friday. So we'll talk about those games in a bit more detail. I'm not necessarily sure it'll be me hosting that, but we will be doing a preview for City. We could quite easily be in the bottom three after the next two games, and then you'd be looking at it having played 25 with 22 points. And I think then, you've got full panic stations, and there's a lot of fans that are completely, saying we'll be fine, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. But we need a few more weeks to see what style of football, and we don't want to be relying on other teams. That's all I'm going to say. DJG1LL, I need a nickname for you, mate. If you're going to be on the channel, make it easier for me. So share your nickname with me in the comments. This weekend, we'll go into the bottom three as them across the park go top. Couldn't make this shit up. Yeah. Absolutely sickening. I mean, if that happens and if we got relegated and they won the league, I'd honestly move abroad. I did when they won the Champions League. I got on a plane 2 days later and went abroad to I think Lanzarote or something like that. Just did not stay in this country. So imagine if they won it with the fucking fans and the and us getting relegated. Honestly, it begs to differ. In my heart of hearts, I don't think we'll go down, and I think City will win the league still. So I'm just making that what you will. Dave is saying, good evening, Dave, mate. We aren't doing what Newcastle and Burnley, and we think that's winning games on the bounce. Yeah. They just look like they want to stay up. They look like they've got the fight in them, and they look like they can do it. And Everton look like an absolute soft touch. With a weak as piss mentality. Yeah. I've lived through the 93, 94, and 97, 98 battles. We don't now. Did we have obviously I was born in 93, so I can't recall that, but did we have as much fight? Did we have as much quality as we do now on paper? From what I've heard and seen, I would have said the team now on paper, man, 1 to 11 is far superior. And I've vouched for this, players like Decore, Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, these players could go and play in Europa League, quality teams in Europe, no problem. Individually, they're absolutely good enough for that and more. But as a sum together, they equal, they just don't gel. It doesn't work. I think that's the problem. It's up to Lampard now to get these players all going together. Dave Weston, since all those games got postponed, we played a lot of games away from home. We need a run of games at home that are winnable. I agree. Obviously, I think we've got the Wolves and Newcastle games the 17th or 10th to 17th of March. So we've got to get 6 points off those games. I think we need 3-4 wins. I think we're on 22 points. I think 35 points would keep you up this season. I really do. But it's terrible, isn't it? I mean, it's embarrassing. It's absolute. Win the home games. Chris is saying, no, I can't imagine that. Sorry, I'm not sure what you're referring to because I think I've gone past the point. And the answer to my question before, not as much quality, but more fight. Yeah, I know about the Wimbledon. We came back from 2-0 to win 3-2. But I just don't see the character in the players. I look at players like Michael Keane and think, sorry, Kevin Campbell said on TalkSport recently, he said, you are not a leader. You are not the player to get us out of this mess. You scare me, these sorts of things. And Michael Keane being key in the central defence in a team that wants to play on the front foot makes me anxious. And I don't know whether, as alluded to before, we just need to shut up shop. I think against Man City, we have to just, I'll talk about Man City now. I'll also briefly talk about Southampton if it comes up. But the Man City game for me, obviously, I can't bear the thought of Liverpool going above them in the league. But we have to focus on ourselves right now. And I think if you look at the way Man City play, they commit so many players forward. And I think if we can expose some of their players in defence 1v1 against players like Damari Gray and Anthony Gordon, I think we can cause some problems. It's maybe sucking City in and playing on the counter attack and exposing them with the long ball. I mean, Lampard says he doesn't want to play long ball, but really quick back to front, 1v1, isolate the defenders. I also think horrible comments just come in there, and I completely agree. When I've seen Man City play and struggle, it's against teams that play very, very deep, very, very low block because they haven't got a number 9. They haven't got a centre forward. Keep them out wide, 2 very, very narrow banks of 4, and stop the space in behind the defence and stop the space between the defence and the midfield. And if you look at a lot of recent games against Man City where we've lost, particularly at Goodison, they've scored these goals from free kicks and from the edge of the box and outside the box. So we need to block the shots from outside the box. We need to really get in their faces when they're in shooting opportunities. 2 banks of 4 without the ball, narrow spaces, narrow gaps so they can't play between the lines. And the centre of the pitch, keep the centre of the pitch really compact and congested so that they can't play through us. They can have the ball out wide, that's fine. I don't think they're a threat out wide because they haven't got the target man. Look, I'm not a football coach or anything, but I think from what I've seen of Man City, and it's a lot of Man City, that is how you nullify them. Obviously, you have to work extremely hard, follow the runs, etc., etc. And the same on the counter attack. Expose them 1v1, isolate defenders. Don't be afraid to play long ball. But as Chris Peacock is alluding to in the comments, it could be an embarrassment. And the reason I tend to agree with you, Chris, sorry, I'll just leave that up there. City have got players who dribble and glide past you with ease. And I look at the midfield and the defense of Everton, particularly the 4 central midfield, the 4 in the middle. And I just think there's no one who can get a foot in. They're all so slow and they're all bypassed. I mean, if Andre Gomez played, it would be an absolute nightmare. I think if Alan and Decore have the fit, have got to be the midfield pairing. I personally would go 4-3-3 against Man City. I would have Mykolenko and Seamus Coleman. I actually just think you need to throw Patterson in, but it's just not happening. I think he's got the athleticism and speed to be able to get up the pitch on the counter-attack. But realistically, Coleman and Mykolenko, whether Mykolenko is going to turn out to be good enough is another thing. The 2 central defenders pick themselves. We have no choice. It's Michael Keane and Mason Holgate until Godfrey's back. But I want to see a 4-3-3 because I'm thinking Decore and Allen, Van der Beek just in front of them, or a flat 3. And then Gray, if he's fit, please. Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. And it can drop into a 5 in midfield when we haven't got the ball. And when we've got the ball, it's a 4-3-3 with an extra midfielder bombing on, whether that's Van der Beek or Decore. So I want to see a 4-3-3 against City. He's not going to do it. He's going to go 5 at the back, let's be honest. He'll chuck Seamus Coleman in right centre back or something. It's going to be 5 at the back. But I think all that does is invite them on and allows them to, invites them on and means we haven't got enough bodies in the midfield areas to constrict them and to stop them. We're letting them get close to the goal. I think we need to have 2 banks. It's not going to work out like that. If we go 4-4-2, 2 banks of 4 defensively, keep the spaces really tight, play on the counter attack, or 4-3-3, but it's basically a 4-5-1 when we haven't got the ball, and keep it very tight. Don't let us play through us, and don't get shots off on the edge of the box. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm sure whoever does the preview tomorrow on the channel will go into this in a little bit more detail. I'm going to go back to the comments. Dave is saying, imagine if we did the shite a favour, beat City, but still went down. I mean, that would be Everton in a nutshell, wouldn't it? Is it right? It's like a torrential thunderstorm here. Burnley, the Houdini of the Premier League. JT says, hey there, what do you think of Spurs? No joke, touched on them at the start of the video. They just annoy me so much. Unbelievable. To go to Man City, I mean, they're very much a counter-attacking team, aren't they? Basically, what I'm trying to say is replicate the Spurs performance. Low block, speed on the counter, isolate them 1v1, get numbers forward. Our decision making in the final third is abysmal. Richarlison on the counter attack, he makes such bad decisions and he takes too long on the ball. It takes too many touches. Whether it's going to happen or not, the way I think it should, it's a different thing. But Spurs, unbelievable getting that result at Man City, and it was inevitable. Really, they've got such a good record against them. But Spurs and Liverpool are like the only teams that seem to have some success against City consistently, and Palace. But they're absolutely shocking today at Burnley. Offered zilch. And they've got their own term coined, doesn't it? Spursy. JT's also asking me, the other indirect fixtures are quite kind to us, including neighbours, completely unmaking leads. The ones who beat City get licked by Burnley. Yeah, we just touched on. Spot on. 2P from you know where is not filling me with joy here. Decore being back does fill me with joy. What are we all thinking this midweek? Evening, Jeff. I'm sat here on my own, trying to get Mabsy on. Let's try and get Mabsy on. Just messaging him now. What do you want to talk about, guys? What do you want to talk about? What do you want me to talk about? Ask me any questions, anything you want, any topics, anything on your mind, Everton, anything football related. It's an open forum tonight. I think Mabsy's coming on. We got Mabsy. Mabsy's coming on. You were saying if City win, Liverpool aren't going top. I agree with you. And this is the horrible. Most of my mates are Liverpool fans. I'm going to say that. I'm going to be honest. I mean, live in Allerton, and in Liverpool, everyone that I'm mates with. I mean, of an older generation, they're all Blues. Anyone over 30 is an Evertonian, but all the young ones, not over 30, just over 40. There's a lot of Evertonians, but the kids, and I still consider myself a kid in a way at 28. All Liverpool fans, all my friends from school and stuff, but I just can't see them. I hate it. It makes me feel sick. The thought of them winning anything is vile. Makes me feel ill. But that City game on the weekend, I mean, it's just turning up and then you're just like not asked. We have to prioritize ourselves, though. That's a problem. It is that bad for us at the moment. And I never thought we'd be in that position, but it is that bad that we have to actually go there. And we probably won't get anything from the game anyway. It'll be taken out of our hands. But I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Hello.
Hi, Mabsy.
All right, you okay?
I'm all right, Mabs. How are you?
Yes, good, mate. Just chilling, really. So yeah,
That's all right.
Fucking a shite one, didn't they? But I mean, as I say, it's in fucking one at any time that we need them to win. So fucking, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, if there's ever a game for Liverpool to support them and hope they win, it's that. But it was one of those where deep down in my heart of hearts, I'm not actually sure Leeds are going to go down. So I thought, well, fuck it, either way. And then the City one, it's like, City are probably going to drop points to another team anyway. The worst thing you'd want would be for City to beat us and then, they start dropping points against the team. What happened will happen anyway.
On the plus side, now City's Leeds' goal difference is -24. We're -12.
Yeah. I think our goal difference is fine. We just don't score enough. We're not the worst defensively, but we're not good.
I think we go to City and get something. I think we go to City come and we get something like City,
Yeah. What makes you think that?
I just think, if I'm going to be brutally honest with you, it'd be the most Everton thing in the world.
Like what Spurs did today.
Yeah, it'd be just the most Everton thing in the world for us to fucking win against City, Honestly.
Well, I'll let you talk about the Man City game on the preview. I don't know whether you're doing that with Stevie, but I just touched on a couple of aspects from it. I said, from what I've seen against Man City, they struggle most against sides that play very deep, low block, because they don't have that focal point in the number 9 space. Teams that play very compact, whether that's as a 4-4-2 narrow or a 4-3-3, which drops into a 4-5-1. So either of them, because we're not going to press. I don't think we're going to press. I think we're going to drop. So you want the numbers there, and you want to keep the spaces tight between the lines. And one thing that really concerned me in regards to that was that Everton, when we've played a lot this season and I've watched them, we have a massive space between defense and midfield and a massive space between midfield and attack. It never feels like a unit, defensively ever, or even offense. It never feels like a team. It never feels like a team unit. So I'm asking them to do the drastic thing and play compact and keep the space between the lines as short as possible, particularly in the central areas, to stop them playing through us and around us. Also, stop them getting off these stupid pot shots from around the box, because they do it all the time against us and score. Pickford's an absolute nightmare from outside the box. Try and get them 1v1 on the counter-attack. Commit men forward on the counter-attack when they're pushing everyone forward. I mean, is that a fair sort of thing to ask for? Or, reasonable?
It's reasonable.
It's fairly basic, isn't it, really?
It's just down to basics, and we as fans have just got to get behind them. We need to points in the home game, simple as, because their away form isn't great. It never has been great. It isn't just a phenomenon now. But as I say, we've got to absolutely just, as fans, just be the so-called 12th man, suck the ball down that.
So do you think maybe we should go for the high press?
You know what, though? We've got nothing to lose in this game. We're a hiding to nothing, let's be honest. You know what I mean? It's not one of these games where we must win it.
No.
It's so, I think the fans...
How many points do we need, Mabsy? Looking at that table now and seeing the fight that Burnley have put in today to get a result, and Watford at the weekend, and Norwich, I think all the results were pretty shit for us.
Yeah,
sorry about the swearing on today's stream. I'm just at the end of my tether with it.
You need to get looking at that table, because if you look really, it is quite compact from 11th down to 20th now.
Yeah, it's 5 points in it between us and Leicester.
Probably looking, I reckon, high 30s, 38, 39, potentially.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I mean, the games in hand we've got is Burnley. We need to win that away. Newcastle is a must, and that's at home. And then we've got Leicester as well, haven't we? So they're the three. And I think Leicester are beatable. We've got to pay them twice.
Yeah, but
I think Brentford are going to start getting sucked down now. Seriously. Brentford are going to get sucked into it. Leeds are. Definitely.
I think Brentford are going to get sucked into it.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle and Burnley will get out of it. I think Watford and Norwich will go down. And I think it's between Everton and Brentford. The way I feel at the moment, because it has to be the same question in 3 weeks' time.
Isn't it, Brentford?
Yeah, could do with that now. Because I think in a couple of weeks, if we could just get a couple of wins,
we
feel so much more comfortable, because we'd be 7-8 points away from it then. And I think then you can start to relax a bit. I'm not relaxed, but you just, as fans, it's as less edgy, and everyone's less nervous in the stadium and agitated. And I think then you can.
Southampton really put me on a down. After beating Leeds, thinking we can get out of this, and then Southampton just comes along and they just score us. But at the end of the day, everything fucking went against us in Southampton. That penalty, clearly a penalty. I'm not asked, but
and Liverpool got one exactly the same today.
Yeah, exactly. Of course they would. Yeah, of course they fucking would. But yeah,
they do it all the time to us, though. Southampton, don't they? At their place, very high intensity, very good shape with the 4-4-2, but it's so flexible and the movement's so good. And then when they come to Goodison, we end up scraping a win without looking really convincing. And I think that's happened for years. But really, I don't know if you did. I don't know if you saw our video. You went on it, but
no, I didn't get a chance.
Felt so down. We got over 1,000 views on YouTube on that, but a lot of comments as well. But felt awfully, awfully bad on that. I was at my wit's end with it. Jeff saying you usually watch on Facebook, now on YouTube. Good man, Jeff. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Where is the subscribe button? You're asking me. A bottom left-hand corner. If you've never subscribed to a YouTube channel, mate, this is the only one you subscribe to. But if you know where it is, just click that. But we're on 890 subscribers, Mabsy. That's really 890 subscribers.
Okay, so we're not far off. Come on, yes, that's really good.
Come on, someone who hasn't subscribed is watching me right now. Hit that subscribe button for us. Let's try and get close to 900 subs. We want 1,000 before the end of the season. That's the aim. Hopefully we can get up there. JT is saying what Everton need to do is play as if they had a snowballs of beating City. Even if that possibility is wild fantasy.
I think, you know what, we are going to make the difference on Saturday. We are going to be up for it. We're going to be, loud. We are going to, it's a 5:30 kickoff. So we're going to have a few babies in the pub beforehand. We're going to be up for it, and you know what? And the fact, hopefully, the players will react, and we will get a reaction.
Do you want to see us go and press that?
Yeah, as I say, we've got nothing to lose. It's a game. If we lose, it wasn't one we expected. No, it shouldn't be like this. It's like a one we're not expected to win anyway. You know what I mean?
Sorry, Farhad.
What?
Good evening, Mabs. Good evening, Mabs.
Good evening, Jim.
It's not an expected win. Well, let me ask you something, Mabsy. Let's just take it away from that for a minute. Right. The sanctions on Russia, of course, of all the places. The Everton businesses and sponsors are all Russian.
Not going to affect us.
You don't think?
No, because, okay, so you've got to look at this in a way. We've already got the money from the Russians. So, Usanov is our main sponsor is Kazoo, not Russian. Hummel is Danish. So the technical part of sponsors, the stuff around the ground would be paid for already.
But Farhad Mashiri's business.
What?
Farhad Mashiri, I think, is it Megaphone and all of them? They're all Russian,
Megaphone and USM. Obviously USM is the holding company of all the brands, but at the end of the day, it's stadium branding that we have. It's nothing else. You know what I mean? And also the Finch Farm sponsored by USM, but that's been paid. That's already been put in the coffer, so it's not going to affect us. If other shirt sponsors were Russian, I'd be starting to maybe it's a bit of a worry. But again, remember, Usanov is only a sponsor, but he isn't our owner.
We don't know what's going on.
No. But on paper, he isn't our owner.
Okay.
At the end of the day, Mashiri is our legal owner, regardless of the speculation that everyone says. So how is it going to affect us? Because he is just a sponsor. And there'll be ways and means of following the money into the club. Don't worry about
that. Mabsy, brilliant. But I know a few people have been talking about it and saying, you've got the stadium naming rights, a Russian company.
No, again, naming rights of the stadium. Now, they haven't actually bought any naming rights to the stadium. They only bought the option to get first refusal to name them. Right?
Hilarious, yeah.
So basically, it's a commercial decision. It's a commercial, what companies do all the time, perfectly legal, approved by the FA. But so if they don't, then we keep that money anyway. It's only an option, so they can't.
You're not concerned that the Everton owners' main business ventures are in Russia?
No.
Mashiri. I'm not even talking about Usmanov being Russian himself and his businesses.
No, hang on. Actually, Usmanov isn't Russian, he's Uzbek.
Okay, so where have I got that from?
What?
Where's that all come from then, this all Russian thing? Isn't he Uzbek Russian?
So Usmanov makes his money in Russia, but he's an Uzbek. So he's not a Russian national. So they can't ban him technically from sanction him. I don't think. Well, they can't ban him from entering the country anyway.
It's what is Abramovich is Israeli now, isn't he? He's
Well,
gone off.
Abramovich, yeah, exactly. So that's how he gets around it. So he just went. I think he just turned up in Israel, didn't he? Like,
I mean, he is Jewish, but
he's
he just
Jewish, but he
he
turned
got
up in
banished, didn't he?
Israel.
Didn't they
Got
say he had to
4
go?
hours, got a passport, and then went out. So
Didn't they say he had to leave?
what?
Didn't they say he had to go, like Usmanov or Abramovich, and then he just fucked off and was in Israel within like a few hours?
Yeah. He basically got kicked
And got
out of
citizenship.
Well, I don't think he could. Don't think they stopped him, but I think they didn't give. They took his visa off him.
For me, that's absolute bonkers. I mean, he owns a football club and he's invested so much. Imagine the tax this company's paying.
How many oligarchs own in London and around the UK?
Unbelievable.
As I say, I think London is called Little Bloody some rock. I think Petersburg or something ridiculous like that. It's that fucking awash of Russian money. It is what it is.
But we'll wait and see how it unfolds. We're going to
be that affected by it. I think everyone is panicking at this present moment in time. Sanctions here, sanctions there. Ain't going to happen. You know what though? It's fine. We're getting invested by other banks. You only may have to source a seal from elsewhere. That may be a problem, but
yeah, this is the problem. What I'm saying, we've got an Ono's main companies are Russian based. We've got an Ono's Phantom owner is main companies are Russian based. Sponsors are those companies, and if their economies go to shit and those companies collapse, will they have the money, the finances?
Well, no, they're not going to. Okay, so that's like saying basically, Megaphone or Megaphone. Megaphone is probably the biggest mobile phone provider in the whole of Russia. That's like saying EE going bust. It ain't going to happen.
Thanks, Mabs. Moving on. Thanks for clearing that up very concisely. Loved it. Stevie's saying we have to go for the win on Saturday and hope we get at least a point. Can't be looking at Liverpool now. I think he's right, but it's easy for him to say when he doesn't live in Liverpool, isn't it, Mabsy?
Yeah. Lives in London.
Lives in London. JT saying it's like that for Family Guy meme. Arsenal's reliance on home games. Man U squad imbalance. Noah, and what the hell is this? With Everton being the penguin in an elephant hat. Toothy Office is saying talk of games in hand. I could see us putting a lot of pressure on some of our players. And Hugh is saying, is Mabsy a ball sucker exclusively on match days?
What?
He says, did you only come out on match days?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I think it's a joke that I don't quite get that, Hugh. I'm sorry. I don't want to get it anyway. Stu is saying, is Decore fit 4-3-3? Bring it on. Just throw him straight in there, Mabs, tomorrow on Saturday. Sorry? Decore, just throw him straight in?
You don't want to risk him. I think he comes on as a sub. I don't think you start him.
Comes on as a sub at 4-0 down. Sam Stanley says, hi, Sam. I haven't seen you around here. I don't think so. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Hit the like button for us and subscribe if you haven't already. I got to say, I'm seriously worried. Burnley stringing wins together. We won't beat City or Spurs if we're being realistic. I fear we'll be in the bottom 3 in 2 weeks. Very, very grim reading, isn't it, Mabs? From Sam. Thanks for the comment.
Sam, you're right. I totally get it. You know, I think Spurs don't do us a favour there. I don't know how Spurs' form has dipped again.
They're unbelievable. You couldn't rely on them for anything.
No.
Ollie, my mate, saying Watford, Norwich, Leeds, Burnley, Brentford are all worse than Everton. They're all worse than Everton.
Is he the cop eight?
What cop eight?
Is Oliver a cop eight? Your mate Oliver?
Ollie, yeah, he's a red, yeah.
Right, so let me get this straight. They win 6-0. And all they can talk about is Everton. Wow.
He's just my mate. He's entertaining. His channel, you'd be surprised how many people watch this for entertainment. Oliver Roberts is saying Watford, Norwich, Leeds, Burnley, and Brentford are all worse. What do you think?
No, I hate that one. Sorry, but I know what you're saying, Ollie, but no, unfortunately not. And this is the whole problem. is that we get out. Everyone says, "Oh, you're too good to go down," and this we're not.
We've spent 600 million and we've got a
We
team
are
full of
actually worse than
internationals.
them. So you look,
Yeah.
okay, Brentford beat us, Burnley, Watford beat us, Norwich beat us, Leeds we drew and won. Okay, Burnley we won, and we've still got to play them. But again, I don't think they're. I mean, Burnley won against Spurs 2-0. So how can you say that they're worse than us? I can't see it. If we stay up, it probably by the skin of our teeth this season. Honestly,
I don't think up until until the Leeds game, I don't think we'd played any decent football all season. Even under Rafa, those games we won, we didn't play well. We cobbled together wins. We weren't great. We didn't dominate the ball. We didn't play free-flowing football. At least under Ancelotti, there were spells where we did play good football. We were mostly low block counter, play for set pieces, but we had injuries that dictated that style, and I think he adapted well, whereas Rafa's just obviously persisted with his absolutely delirious style of football, if that's what you want to call it. And, we've got nowhere from it. I can't remember what my point was completely, but I look at these teams. I think what I was going to say was we haven't played well all season up until one game against Leeds. No, we've been rubbish. Injuries or not, we've been crap. And I've watched some of those games and I thought, actually, some of the time they've played quite well, some of those teams. When Everton played well?
I can't. It's hard, isn't it?
They might not get results, but the football, probably chatting bollocks, but...
No, but we haven't. We as I say, I just don't see the worst. So teams are worse than Everton. I don't see it. Yeah. We're probably bottom of the form table. We are bottom of the form table. In fact,
we're rubbish. We're absolute rubbish.
Yeah, there's to be fair, I don't see that, Ollie.
Sorry, all. Trying to keep our heads up, but we're fucking miserable. Sworn a lot tonight. I don't think I've swore on 100 odd videos, and then tonight I'm just.
Yeah, sorry, I keep swearing them a bit like.
Stu is saying 4-4-2 and he's laughing. JT is saying relegation battles are all about grinding out and getting it in the dirt when it's needed.
Yeah, but JT, we haven't got the team to fucking do that. We haven't got the characters in our team because they're spineless idiots.
It's that back four, isn't it? They're the worst.
You know what? Yeah, it is. It's a centre back. We don't have anyone decent. We have Mina decent, but his legs made of fucking glass. And Michael Keane, fucking, I've said this all season about him. Absolute shit. Yeah, well, I'm not sure. But
I think it's Stephen Richardson, but I'm not sure. He's got a new handle, Richo63. So Sam could be in the bottom three by 7:30. Newcastle and Burnley win.
What depressing that, Richard. Cheers, mate.
And Ollie's saying it was actually Luke's brother. Luke is a good lad as well. He was commenting before. It's easy when you're winning, isn't it? To be nice. Hugh is saying we're going to get beat. We're going to get beat United at home. Calling it now.
That's a weird one, though. United at home. That's on the Grand National Day. Don't get that, mate. How can they have 40,000 spectators turn up at Goodison?
Yeah.
And then there were 100,000 turn up at Aintree, and they've got enough police to cover both events.
It's mad that really, because you'd have thought Liverpool could play a home game as the same day as a Grand National because they've got no local fans. But Everton, they'd all want to be at the Grand National.
To be fair, the airport would be shocked that day. Imagine the Norwegian and the Irish coming over, and that's just for the Liverpool game.
Mabsy, when I was busking in town, I haven't been in a while, obviously, but I was busking in town a lot during the lockdown, and there was a guy. You always get a few people that'll come every single time, like every day without fail. Like, no offense if you're watching, but it was like he had nothing better to do. Sit on the bench and watch you. We're singing for hours. Some of the stuff, obviously, if he's been there for 2-3 weeks, coming every day, he's seen me sing it every bloody day. Anyway, speaking to him, how come you're here again? He got chatty. He said he's an Evertonian. He said his dad's an Evertonian. He's from Norway.
So, yeah, I was to say, we do have. I'm not saying that we don't have fans worldwide. We do. we have a lot of Americans. We have a lot of of Norwegians and stuff like that. But they take the piss. As I say, look at the season ticket situation. 27,000 people with a local postcode or a CH or a local postcode have a season ticket at Everton. 6,000 of Liverpool fans have season tickets. That sums it up.
How does that even happen, though? They have that little? Because you'd have thought even back in the day, 70s and 80s, they'd have kept the season tickets and they would have been more local fans then.
Well, this is it, mate. This
not stayed in their hands, has it? Never been local. JT says the biggest hurdle with Everton is trying to avoid being super general here. It's getting into that habit of not caring about doing it cleanly. Hugh is saying, Mabsy said we need to suck the ball in. Okay, get it.
What?
You said before the fans need to suck the ball in, or we need to suck the ball in?
Right, so is this a personal joke or something?
Possibly. Sam is saying, I'm trying to look at things with a level head. I honestly can't see us winning another away game this season because the players are cowards. I mean, we've not even got any draws, have we?
It's... You know what? I love my ways, and I do. We know me, you do go on the ride and stuff like that. We've never been good away, though. I think we won season. I remember we didn't win one whole season.
I think wasn't there a few years where we were like winning 3 all season away from home? We had like 18 draws.
Yeah, right. We didn't once. We went without winning one. Honestly,
yeah,
that was fucking shocking. Everton had to do an event for us away fans, and they gave us like 3 away shirts. That white kit with the I got that free.
Didn't win a game away from home all season. I mean,
yeah, not had the one, so they had to butter us up. They had to compensate you. They eyed out what's that one in where Bing Bongo's Bingo used to be? They eyed that venue out anyway.
Camp of Venice.
Camp of Venice, that's the one, yeah.
We do not sponsor on this channel. Although, did you see Stevie's preview for City on here with the betting odds for everything? It was hysterical. We should definitely get an affiliate link sponsor in the channel, Betfair or something. And he was doing like Everton 5-1 to score first in this game, and Calvert-Lewin is 6-2 to score second in the game. But interestingly enough, Southampton 80-1 to score 7 goals. He was like doing all these statistics to do with bet. It was hilarious.
Fucking hell.
No, I loved it. People
sounds good.
Matthew Byron. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. Matthew Byrne. He's off Twitter, isn't he?
Is he not Matt Byrne off Twitter?
Yeah.
All right, Sam.
Just bring back Big Sam, and Mabs will like that shout.
Oh no! Yeah, it definitely is Matt Byrne. No, really, I had an argument last night on Twitter. Got really worked up. People were backing him. People were saying, you know what, he didn't do a bad job. He should have stayed for another season. I'm just like, no, and no again. Never again did he set.
Well, like I said about Hammers, we'll talk about that in a minute. Actually.
No, we're not talking about Hammers because that's another thing that'll grind my fucking gears.
That's fine. Sam Allardyce took the worst Everton team on paper in like Premier League era to 8th place.
Yeah, but everyone changes about like it was fucking great football. He saved us, yes, absolutely, he saved us. Would you give him another season? No fucking chance. Matt, why did you set me off? You knew that was going to set me off. He DM'd me on Twitter last night. Goes, God, I've never seen you kick off like that before. Well, you know what? He just set me off twice again.
Martina, Nias, Schneiderlin. It was dreadful. John Joe Kenny at right back. Holgate and Keane, the terrible twosome. It was a really poor team. We were looking to do anything worse than this bunch here. And Matthew's laughing, saying he knew you'd go off on one.
Yeah, well, cheers, Matt. I'll be texting
wish
you.
Had the camera on. I wish Mabsy had his camera on because this is what makes the entertainment. But on Hammers, it was interesting. He said he'd come back. And he said he never wanted to leave.
No, right. This is everyone is going on about. He's just sweet to me. He goes, sorry, mate. It just needed to be said. No, don't worry, Matt. It sounds right. No, right. So everyone's blown his story up, going around Twitter saying Hammers wants to come back. Blah blah blah. No, he did not say. Oh, he said it in a flipping comment off Twitch, right? And this is where it gets to me. Yeah. And everyone's saying, oh, it was all Sam Allardyce's fault, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, it is not Sam Allardyce's fault. Remember when he went on Twitch, and everyone seems to forget this, right? And he goes, I quote, I don't know who they are playing. They are playing next. What the
It's like
fuck
he was already
that
left
about?
the club at that point. He was told he didn't rely on him, and he was not involved in anything. He was not allowed to be.
I'm sorry, but he down tools before he down tools when Carlo was there. So don't say it's all down to Rafa. I'm not having it. I don't like Rafa, and everyone's just getting the boot in, and he's just trying to come across now.
Rafa saw off the head of medical services.
Yeah, okay,
James,
we're not going there, Ryan, about who
I think James was another victim of. Yeah,
but we're not
everyone.
we're going on James, right? Not talking about anyone else. We're talking about James here, and at the end of the day, he's doing it now to save face because everyone's blaming Rafa for everything, which rightly so, absolutely. And again, everyone's like, "Oh, I'll have him back now," and well, at the end of the day, he ain't coming back. Simple as. Everyone, remember the trouble we couldn't get Schutzman for love nor money, but apparently he's world class. Well, if he was world class, Pete Clubs would be jumping the chance to get James Rodriguez, and he didn't. He ended up in the Middle Eastern team. Now, don't also forget, right? Don't also forget that he could have gone to Porto, yeah, and then we could have had Diaz by now.
What, Cameron?
What? Ruben Diaz, mate.
Cameron Diaz.
No, not Cameron Diaz, but fuck's sake. But no, we could have had Diaz by now. I know I hate James with a passion. Don't want ever near my club again, honestly.
You wouldn't even have him back on a free now?
No. You know what? I'd have him back. I'd have him back if he took 50 grand a week. He's not going to do that, is he? He wants another big paycheck from us. He can fuck off.
I think he wants to go. He's pining for us. He's pining for us, isn't he?
No, because the grass isn't fucking greener, and he's playing in this shit league in the Middle East. Fuck off.
Mabsy, I had an email before from someone said to me, I collect autographs. Is there any chance I could get Ryan's autograph? And Joseph, his name was, and he sent me his address.
Probably some
What do you make of that?
mate.
What do you make of that?
Good on you, mate.
They want yours as well.
He's not getting mine.
How come?
Because, just in case.
Just in case what?
Fraud, mate.
I've been to gigs where people have asked me for autographs before. I want to show you him. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, but
yeah, I want to get something up on the screen to show you. Don't know how it works. Hang on. Look at this. Bear with me one sec. Absolutely. Got some breaking news for you, Mabs.
What?
I've been offered a role at Everton.
Sorry? Oh God, his stadium tour.
No. Look at this next one.
No.
That's me. Goodison on the touchline. It's brilliant. What do you think of that, guys? That's worth a subscription. There's me. Hit that subscribe button for me.
No, Rasty, did you enjoy your tour?
Yeah. It was it's changed a lot of the lounges have changed quite a bit.
Yeah, I like the new lounges, to be fair, because they're meant to be quite nice.
But the rest of it's still very much the same. Media room, you go in the media room. Was an old Everton player from the 70s? I can't remember his name. Mark, maybe, gave us a signed signed picture.
Yeah.
It was nice. Very, very knowledgeable lady who was doing the tour. Very, very knowledgeable.
Was it the same one that did our tour?
I can't remember, but she's in the boardroom and she just seemed to know about everything.
Was she like the older lady?
No. No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Blue Stew is saying you're wrong, Mabsy.
About what? About
everyone's in for you tonight, Mabsy.
What?
Everyone's in for you tonight, Mabsy.
I don't understand what I'm wrong about. Am I wrong about Hammers? Am I wrong about fucking that dickhead fucking Fat Sam? I don't know. Why am I wrong?
Matthew agrees with you about Hammers, though.
Yeah, 50 grand a week, I'd take him, but he wouldn't come back for 50 grand a week. He'd want 200 grand. No.
What device are you on tonight, Mabs?
My phone, why?
So you not got a camera?
I have, but I'm in bed, mate, so I'm not gonna.
You're in bed. Sucking the balls into the net.
What the fuck?
That's what someone was alluding to before, but you were just not onto it at all. So funny. JT saying he's bite an arm off for James.
Why? I don't understand. Why are we all looking through rose-tinted glasses here? The mate, he took the piss, mate. He took the piss out of us. Right. First of all, he decides when he plays. Like Yeremina. Now, he decides when he plays, right? He goes away on random fucking holidays, refuses to play at Christmas, decides to go on the flight to Colombia, during the Wolves game when he could have seen the fans. Only once he played in front of fans in the UK, and that was a friendly against United. No.
Hugh is saying, was Benitez brought in to get rid of James' wages after losing Gylfi? We desperately needed James this season. I agree on that context. Just on Gylfi Sigurdsson, we've missed him, haven't we? Really?
Who?
We've missed Gylfi Sigurdsson.
Don't know who he is, mate.
In terms of a footballer, we have missed Gylfi Sigurdsson.
Don't know who he is.
You don't know who the club record signing is?
I don't know.
Who is he?
Never seen him.
What?
I don't even know who scored the Derby winner, mate. To be fair, can't remember.
Well, it wasn't him actually. It was Richarlison.
No, it was him.
You're not talking about it still?
I'm not talking about it now.
It's been 7 months.
As I say, yes, we have missed a certain player who cannot be named legally. He's strangely omitted from all the team sheets and maybe plays for Iceland or played for Iceland. I don't think he plays for them now.
Which Iceland branch?
Belvale. One in Belvale, mate.
I knew that was coming. Read your mind straight away. That's class.
Yeah. Yeah. As I say, we've missed them. We've missed. Ironically, we had so many number 10s to the club. We don't have any now, and that's a problem.
Hugh was saying we've massively missed the Nonson. And he was
I don't know who you're talking about, mate.
The Nonson kept us up against Big Sam. Kevin saying he's under investigation, right? I know, but he was still an Everton player. We're not talking about the investigation. We talk about
who's
that.
Under investigation. We don't know who's under investigation. It's never
talking
been
about the player that we
mate.
missed. Club record signing 45 million.
No. I just think I think to be fair, he's just away on holiday at the moment for all season.
Matty's saying you're in a bad mood. You need a drink.
I'm not in a bad mood, honestly. I'm just not in a bad mood.
So is John. John says Mabsy's in a foul mood tonight.
Mike's
saying, what's up with Mabsy tonight? Why is he so annoyed?
I'm actually dropping some I'm just dropping some cheap bombs tonight because I'm sick of it.
Calvin says, why will Mabsy not talk about Gylfi Sigurdsson? Has he got something to do with the case?
No, not a call. I don't know what case. Maybe a suitcase that he's taken on holiday with him, maybe, but I don't know.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap things up, Mabs?
No, I'm quite happy, mate.
The stadium news got leaked. I've loved having you on tonight, Mabs. You're absolutely brilliant.
Stadium news, that's to be fair. That it's a year on, isn't it, since we got planning permission? and we're in the shit. So that really coincides with another devastating release. Happy days.
I know. It's a good point, that, isn't it? They leak out this news. They release the news just as everyone's like getting angry. Apparently there's been a lot of fights on Twitter between Evertonians.
Oh, mate,
What's all this
it's been
about?
absolute. Oh my god, everyone's been backbiting. I
What do you
think
mean?
everyone's just not happy after Southampton because I think everyone was in such a high after Leeds, and we come crashing down with a fucking big thud at Southampton, and I think there's a lot of arguments between some people and then the 27 campaign. That there was like a big space last night, Twitter space about it. And I think they've just the 27 campaign, which I think they've read the room, which absolutely I've got nothing against them. And to an extent, I agree with them. And they are now just focusing on till the end of the season, getting behind the scene, getting behind Frankie, and making sure it's the best atmosphere possible. So there's going to be no more protests until after the season is over.
But why did this end up causing arguments? Sorry. With people saying they were leaving and stuff.
What's wrong?
People were saying I'm off Twitter. Everyone's arguing. It's toxic.
I think it's just been very touchy this week.
But between individual fans?
Between individual fans, and then it causes rifts, doesn't it? And then again, what it is with Twitter and Facebook and all these social media sites is it's text, right? And there's no context to text or memes. And people read it how they want to read it. Yeah?
Yeah. That's
why when you're speaking face to face, you can tell someone's joking or not. Right? When you're
we would be able to if you put your bloody camera on.
What? Oh yeah, exactly. But what I'm trying to say is it's people. No, but you can still hear the inflection in my voice, can't you? And the tone of my voice.
Jeff says, "Will Mabsy give me a kiss?"
Give who?
Jeff says, "Gives a kiss."
Oh, of course, Jeff.
But Kevin says you're a nutter.
But as I say, it's all about context, isn't it? And people misread it. If they're in a bad mood, or they're like, what does he mean? People might make a joke, right, on Twitter, and you may take it as not being funny, right? But you don't know they're being serious or having a laugh. And then you'll just read how you want to read it. It's about context. And I think there's a lot of context being misrepresentation. And I think, people want to laugh on Twitter as well. There we go.
Post me.
Where? Need to use them before the end of the year, mate.
Why?
New stamps going out, aren't they, with barcodes on, apparently?
Because people just peel them off and stick them back on.
I don't know exactly why they're using barcodes. But
wouldn't do that. A bit silly. Matthew says, I agree with Ryan. We have missed the number 10. And Hugh says, could the nonce come back? I'd take him in a heartbeat. JT
I don't know
saying, I could listen to you dodge uncomfortable questions and statements all day.
What I know about someone who shall not be named,
look at this comment,
who could be on holiday for all I know, and he probably is on holiday for all I know. I don't know by any other reason he wouldn't be in there, but he's not included in the squad up until the end of the season, and his contract expires up until the end of the season. Now I'm assuming, going to take a stab in the dark, that Everton won't be renewing said contract. So no, we will not see him again.
I think we've known that all along. Remember Charles Stevenson, I think, put out at the very start
of the whole... No, not tonight.
At the very start of the whole saga, said that he was no longer an Everton player, and that was well back in July. So
that's Charles Stevenson.
I tend to agree. Looking at that,
I probably think
his contract was ripped up there and
for
then.
A long time.
Contract was ripped up there and then. Blue Stew is saying a 3-2 to us, Gordon, on the weekend. I've got a couple more comments. Matthew saying it was bad how bad we were against Southampton after a positive result, and everyone just got pissed off with how we performed, but some people need to calm down.
Yeah, I totally agree, Matt.
Is it all a bit childish?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Matt's probably got it about right.
Thanks, Matt. Jeff saying, "Show your face, bro." Mabze.
No, I'm not showing my face, Chef. Not tonight, Princess.
Kev saying, "Listen, we could go down. Now's the time to stick together, despite the shit flying around."
Absolutely, but I think that's why there was certain spaces done last night, and I think it's paced smooth over and over.
Is it dangerous place? Is it worth me doing a space at some point?
When we doing a space?
Don't know, not tonight, but we will get on one.
Yeah, we'll do one, but yeah, it's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the mood's better now.
Good. Are you going to do the preview with Stevie?
What time?
I think he's going to film like 7 o'clock tomorrow or 8 o'clock. I don't know.
I'll have a look. I should be able to, yeah. And you know what? I'll even show my face tomorrow.
Matthew says no one wants to see your face at nearly 11 o'clock anyway.
No, pretty much, yeah. I don't want to see my face at 11 o'clock, mate, to be fair.
Matthew's saying do one on Friday.
Well, whenever I'm free, any day.
Okay, we'll see. I think people like my ones. They're quite organised. Although I've been blocked by like 2 people since I started doing them, but mostly I've got my inbox is full of people thanking me and loving it and asking questions. Although the 2 blocks were quite funny. I'm not going to name the names in case people know who they are. Jeff is saying Mabsy wears his Rondon PJs in bed.
I fucking don't.
That's brutal. And on that bombshell, Mabsy, it's time to wrap things up. Thank you very much for spending nearly an hour, I suppose, of your time. I feel like it was more like 40 minutes, but still. Thank you very much for coming on.
No worries, mate.
To chat. How are you anyway? Is there anything going on at the moment?
Fuck all, mate. Absolutely. I've been off work for like a week and a bit. Can't wait to go back and Monday attire. I actually use holidays up, so.
Just as the kids are off on half term?
What?
Just as the kids are off on half term, you've taken a week off?
Yeah, it's the end of February, isn't it? Our holidays are set in March, so I had to use them, otherwise I lost them.
Are you gonna go Spurs?
Spurs? No, I'm working. I'm working Spurs, but I'm gonna try and do most of the away games after Spurs.
And bear me in mind, please.
Yeah, of course, right. I will do. As I say, I'm trying to do West Ham, but again, I've got a new rater coming out, so I don't know what's happening yet, and I need to know. So I want to know next week. Then we can sort ways out.
Okay, let me know. The lads group chat's horrible. Someone's put "We win the league" and Everton go down. Scenes. Ugh.
Fucking that cop-out's way though, isn't it?
A final comment. We just got one from Kevin who says, "I've been told James is flying in to go to the match on Saturday to help lift."
Oh fuck! He isn't. What? Why? Everyone. I think it's like this whole Hammer thing with Evertonians. It's like being dumped by a bird that you really loved. Right? Yeah. And you're trying to find signs that she's going to come back to you. Listen, she's not coming back. Get over it. Hello?
Read the comment, boy.
Has ever been a big downgrade for Hammers? At least Townsend fucking tries. At least Townsend fucking plays every game. At least Townsend isn't a big fucking think he's bigger than Everton. Nah, no one's bigger than Everton, mate.
Of course, don't worry. We knew you were joking. Thanks for watching, everyone.
But I'm just arguing the point. I'm not saying to you, mate. I'm just saying to every single Evertonian who on Twitter been clinging to this idea that Hammers is going to come back. No, he's not. I don't want him back at the club anyway. I'm
going to subscribe to my own channel just to watch you.
And I can just say as well is why do we need has-been players? We need to be bringing in youth who want to play for the fucking shirt, not just take holidays when he fucking wants.
What? So you took a week off?
Matt Burns just said, "Calm down, calm down." Wow.
You want youth. Very good. All right, Mabs. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button wherever you're watching, whether that's on Facebook or YouTube. I know some people still watch on Twitter, but we can't see any of your comments on there if you're watching through what was Periscope. So make sure you come over onto YouTube, search for Follow Everton, and hit that like. And make sure, most importantly, you subscribe. Good night, everyone. And
Nice.
good night, Mabsy.
Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams.